Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Well, hello, folks. This is Hal Coleman, along with my co-host Mike Stewart, welcoming you to yet another episode of Pest Control Marketing.live, the only live streaming internet TV show totally dedicated to helping you, the PCOs and WCOs of this world, get more new customers, make more money, and grow your businesses. So, how you doing today, Mike?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm just glad to be here. I always enjoy doing this live stream. You know, folks, this is a live stream video show on YouTube and Facebook. And also, it's our podcast. So we try to remember that some people may not be seeing things. And so we'll try to describe them so that if you're a listener, but, you know, we don't have any preference on how you hear us. We just want you to hear what we have to say, because our mission is to make a difference in all the pest control companies out there that hear our information. So
what you're telling me is, from now on, I should say, welcome to pestcontrolmarketing.live and the Pest Control Marketing Podcast.
Yeah, because
what you're telling me?
We're multitasking and we're multi-broadcasting. You know,
well, you should have told me we were multitasking all along.
Well, I figured I'd let things soak in a little at a time here.
Well, dang, you know how I am. I'm a literal kind of person. So.
Well, you know, literally, I got to ask you a question today.
Hey, Lynn, we're multitasking.
You know, at any rate, one of the things that's really neat about the technologies we use today on the internet that, you know, for years you said, you know, you wanted to do a pest control marketing TV show. And the technology just really was cumbersome until this new technology we're using called StreamYard. Join StreamYard.com. So a lot of great uses that all kinds of businesses can use. But at the same time, one of the things it's set up to do is that you can strip out the sound, out the audio of the video recording. And because podcasts are still radio, they're like radio shows. So for the benefit of the listeners, you can't see Hal, but I can. And if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook or from pestcontrolmarketing.live, where we archive all these video shows, Hal is wearing a hat. I've never seen him wear a hat like this. Is this kind of significant of what you're going to talk about today?
I'm wearing a hat today, Mike. I'm wearing a hat to keep my head from exploding, to keep the top of my head from blowing off. I'd
kind of like to see that.
That's that guy said, and I think what movie was it where he said, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore."
All right.
That's why I've got this hat on, to keep the top of my head from blowing off. I can't get people to understand how important the very first contact with your company is. And usually with me, it's a phone call with somebody. It could be seeing your vehicle for the first time. It could be seeing your office for the first time, calling your office for the first time. The very first contact, the very first impression is so important. Let me tell you what got me ticked off today. What just blew the top of my head off.
Get it off your chest and just let me hear you preach, brother.
Yes, sir. I got a phone call, a message. I came home. There's a message that says, "Hey, Hal, this is start with kind of garbled. I couldn't understand the guy's name, but said, I saw your YouTube video, one of your YouTube videos, and excuse me. See, I'm so mad I'm coughing." And he said, "I want to talk with you about my business and about your coaching program. So give me a call." And so I'm like, "All right, cool." So I was gone that day. So it was the next day before I got the message. And I called the number. Now, there is a dozen things wrong with all of this, Mike, and I'm going to go through them one at a time. But I call the number, and I get this static robot that says, the number you have reached is not taking calls at this time. Please leave a message at the tone. So I just almost hung up, but I left a message and said, hey, we'll call him Bob. Okay, I'm not going to say his name. Hey, Bob, this is Hal. I got your message. I'd like to talk with you. So please give me a call back. And I left my number. Now, to start with, I don't even know if that was the guy that I was calling because it didn't tell me who it was. And the number that he left, I always, because it was a little bit rushed through, wrote it down. And I want to make sure I've called the number that I just want to make sure I'm called the right damn number. So it could have at least said, you have reached 503-449. Sorry, it could have at least given me some identifying factor that I had reached the right number. But no, there wasn't even, it said the number you have called. So I'm like, shit, I don't even know if I've got the right number. So now let's start out with my answering machine number, message, my voicemail. I still call it an answering machine because this is all my coaching I do on a landline because people are paying me a lot of money to talk with them. And if we're on the phone, I don't want to drop a call because some poor signal here. So I have a dedicated line. So, hey, if we lose the call, it's not on my end. Okay. So mine says, thank you for calling Coleman Service. This is Hal Coleman. Thank you for calling Coleman Services. Sorry, I can't take your call right now. Please leave a message and I'll call you back ASAP. And don't forget to say your number slowly and clearly, because if I can't understand it, I can't call you back. Now, theoretically, I could just redial and call them back, but that's a test. That's a test. Say, please say your number slowly and clearly. And you'd be surprised how many people say, hey, this is Fred Johnson. And give me a call back, 778-449. Look forward to talking with you. And I'm like, right at that moment, I don't want to work with that guy. Already the first contact with the person is they can't even follow that simple instruction. Most people do. Well, I'd say half the people do it. They're very slowly, but some of them rush through it. And I'll let Lynn, my wife, listen to us. Say, can you make out this guy's number? She'll listen to it 2 or 3 times. I can't tell what he's saying on there. I return phone calls to people on their business line. Some of them I call their office numbers. Some I call them on a cell phone. But I just want to explode when I hear the messages. I hear my first contact with the company is so pathetically bad. And now I'm going to tell you in a minute why it's so important, what the reverse of this is. But Larry Latimer, as people have heard us talk about, first got me focused on looking at that very first contact on the phone. Now, my company was North Fulton Exterminating. That was the name of my company. And we would just answer the phone back in those days. Phone rings here. North Fulton, can I help you? North Fulton. Well, there's a North Fulton Hospital. There's North Fulton Glass. There's North Fulton Auto Repair. There's North Fulton Home Sales. There's the North Fulton. There's tons of North Fulton stuff because we're in North Fulton County. So is it North Fulton? Is this the pest control company? Or yeah, this is the pest control company. So I didn't think anything about it. I didn't know any better. But Larry really pointed out to me that when somebody calls you and you answer the phone or they get your message, they need to be instantly swept off of their feet. So we changed our message to, it's a great day at North Fulton Exterminating. This is Hal. How can I help you today? and I said, I want you to say it's a great day at North Fulton, like you just won a $15 million lottery. That's the way I want you to say it. Now, Elaine, you remember Elaine, my office manager, had this personality that was just through the roof,
Mm-hmm.
And time again, people would say, I'm telling you, that lady that answers your phone, she just knocks me off of my feet. She sounds like y'all are having a big party over there, and it makes me want to come over there and see what y'all are doing. And I said, well, that makes me feel good for you to say that. Now, I had a client out in St. Louis a few years ago, had a big lawn care company, and he was adding pest control, and they hired me to do marketing. They had two girls in the office, and for the life of me right now, I can't remember the name of his company, but I will call it North Fulton. Okay. And they would just answer North Fulton. That's the same way we answered. And so I talked to him about it. I said, look, how do you think all of your competition answers the phones? They all answer it the same way. Everybody's got the same standard message on their cell phones. Thank you for calling Johnson & Johnson. I'm sorry we're unable to take your call at this time, but your call is important to us. So if you'll leave your name and number and a brief message, we'll be happy to return your call as soon as possible. Thank you. It's all the same thing. So what that tells people is you're just as dry and lifeless as every other company I've called out there. So I told him, I want your girls to start answering the phone. I think one of them's name was Brandy. I said, it's a great day at North Fulton. This is Brandy. How can I help you today? And so he called me. He said, they'll do it. They'll do it. I got them on video to get in one of our coaching calls. I said, y'all, here's the way I want you to say it. They said it. They were just bubbly. So they said it perfectly. So he calls me about a week later. He said, Hal, I couldn't wait for our coaching session. I got to tell you this because I know it's going to make your day. He said, I just sold a $23,000 commercial landscaping job. And he said, the lady that bought it, he said, she called and talked to me over the phone. I told her what we charge. And she said, you're hired. And she said, I want to tell you why I hired you. She said, I've been calling around several companies getting prices. But she said, the minute your girl answered the phone, I knew that you were the company I was going to do business with. And he said, I just thought you'd want to know. I said, well, you did just make my day because I like to hear stuff like that. He said, that was just so brilliant. He said, so we've been answering the phone like that for a week, and we just sold a $23,000 job based on how we answer the phone. So I'm calming down a little bit now. Okay.
Okay.
But my point is, the very first contact somebody has with you needs to scream out that we are different than everybody else. We are different. I teach I used to do this on my cell phone, and when I had my pest control business, and I teach this to my clients, it's like, hey, this is Hal. I'm sorry I can't take your call right now. I'm either on the phone talking to somebody about bugs, or I'm out somewhere chasing bugs. But if you leave a message, I'll call you back ASAP, I promise. That's it. And people would call me back. They would say, I just love your message on your phone. Said, you sound like you're just having such a good time out there chasing bugs. I said, I am, and they just feel like they know you, that you have personality and that you're fun to do business with, and you just don't hold back. And that you just be amazed at the comments you get when you put life into it. So when I had my pest control business and we went around the table, I said, we're going to answer it. It's a great day at North Fulton Exterminating. This is Hal. I told him, I said, I'll do it first. It's a great day at North Fulton Exterminating. This is Hal. How can I help you today? Now I told him the next guy, Bob, I want you to do it. He'd say, it's a great day at North Fulton Exterminating. This is Bob. How can I help you today? I said, good, Bob. Well, we get around to this guy named Lloyd, who worked for me, who was actually the operations manager at the time. And Lloyd was one of them guys, had a static voice. He talked like this and never did get any higher. And he'd lower, he'd say, I'd say, Lloyd, have we got the chemical? Lord, yeah, I ordered the chemical today. It's supposed to be here at 3 o'clock. When he gets here, I'll unload it and I'll put it all in the chemical room. I'll hang around till they get here, but don't worry about it. We'll get it done. You know, his voice never changed. It was always just like that. So I said, okay, Lloyd, you do it. So he said, it's a great day, Norfolk Exterminating. This is Lloyd. How can I help you? I said, no, Lloyd, you got to put some life into it, man. I said, just say it like you really mean it. Say it loud. He said, it's a great day, Norfolk Exterminating. This is Lloyd. How can I help you? I said, no, Lloyd, I want you to sound like you just won the $15 million lottery and you want to tell all the people that are across the street over there in that parking lot. I want them to hear you. Scream it out. Give it everything you got. He said, it's a great day at Norfolk Exterminating. This is Lloyd. How can I help? And I said, Lloyd, don't answer the phone anymore. Don't answer the phone. Phone's ringing. I said, point it out to one of the girls to answer, but don't you answer the phone anymore. He said,
You know,
he said, all right, I won't. But,
I bet he likes them French fried taters.
Gosh, you know, folks, if they see a dirty vehicle that has part of the letters peeling off of it or mud all over the tires, or if they see somebody with a nasty wrinkled uniform on, or they see somebody with camouflage boots and a hat that says John Deere on it or Bass Pro Shop or what, you know, this first impression that people get is so important. I can just tell you story after story of how the very first impression is what sold the job. And so the smile, if you show up at the house with a smile on your face to do the estimate for somebody, if you know they're getting estimates and you show up, I'm not a natural smiler. You know, I'm what's known as a deadpan speaker, and I've kind of turned that into a shtick. You know, when I speak, people get a kick out of the way I never smile. I'm just not a natural smiler. But when I would show up at somebody's house, it's like, hey, I'm Hal. I'm here to do your termite inspection, you know, and they light up their smile too. But messages on the answering machine, if you've got that standard message that says, I'm sorry, I can't take a call today, but if you please leave a number, it is important to us. Leave a brief message. Yeah, you know, come on, folks. If you leave me a message to call you back and there's no identifying connection, I don't know if I've called the right number. I don't know who I've called. It doesn't tell me who you are. It just says, the party you have reached is not taking calls. Please leave a message and your call will be returned at the earliest convenience. You know, right then and there, I'm like, I dread this phone call coming up because I'm going to have somebody on the end that is so clueless about how to market their business. And well, I actually had a guy tell me one time, well, I don't want them to know it's me.
Then why are you in business?
You don't want them to know it's you. He said, well, on that line, he said, I like to screen my calls real closely on that line. Now, if they call the office number, we tell them who it is. But oh God,
listen,
okay, I'm kind of through ranting now a little bit, but about.
Well, I'm going to surmise what's going on here. You don't know. You have zero control as a business owner of what the first contact a potential paying client. Now, let me reiterate that. Potential paying client. Now, not tire kickers, not the people who just kind of passing by and going, who are these people? No, this is somebody who is got money in their pocket. You have a solution to their problem, and they're ready to spend money with somebody. So you can't control what that first impression trigger is. You know, it could be a phone call. It could be the information on your website. It could be your Google reviews. I mean, there are 1,000 little places that impression can turn from not them, not using them, not impressed with them, find somebody else. So we always say it's 1,000 little things that make a difference. And the more things you fix, the better your odds of making more money. I had a buddy of mine, a speaker, Rick Frischman, and I'll forget it. And he said, in everything you do, you better be fired with enthusiasm. Because if you're not fired with enthusiasm, your potential customers will fire you with enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And so that's what you're saying is that if Lloyd was answering your phone, you can't calculate how much business you lose. You'll never know. It's people who ignore Google reviews and Yelp reviews, and people who have websites that say lemonade for 50 cents. You can't calculate lost business because those people will never tell you, I thought about using you. I found you. Something you did or said or presented to me made me make a decision not to buy. So
or something you didn't say,
or something you didn't say.
They don't even know what that is.
So the thing is, it's tried and true. As Rick Frischman used to say, be fired with enthusiasm, or you'll be fired with enthusiasm. So, with all that being Hal, I want to talk about two things that I'm very enthused about.
Good.
Number one, if you don't know about Hal's book, How to Grow a Pest Control Business, howtogrowapestcontrolbusiness.com, we want you, if you're listening to this podcast and don't have this book, we want you to go here, put your name and email address in it. We'll give you a free copy of the book. Now, you can go to Amazon and buy it from Hal and give him a little bit of grocery money. He'll be happy for that.
$30 on. You're still giving it away. I'd rather they buy it on Amazon.
I know you'd rather, but I'd rather people get the information and know that you're the real deal. And talking about the real deal, we got two things that we are excited about that happen all year long. Number one, you need to have a mentor. You need to have regular coaching. You need to be held accountable for remembering what the 1,000 little things are. And we love it when people work one-on-one with us. And we'll tell you how you can get a free hour with both of us here in a minute. But more importantly, you can have month one-on-one group coaching with us at Pest Control Marketing Gold. In fact, if you download the book I told you about, there's a secret way of getting a free month of this group coaching. So that's another reason, if you haven't downloaded the book, go to howtogrowapestcontrolbusiness.com and consider becoming a group coaching member.
And there's no obligation to that. And just to show you, that's like you going over here to the automobile dealership and saying, I've been looking at this F-150 pickup truck. And they say, well, look, here's the keys. Take it and drive it for a month. And if you come back and you like it, you can start making payments on it. And if you don't like it, just park it and
hand the keys back and have a nice day with a smile on your face.
Yeah, yeah.
And every February means three things: Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, and the Next Level PCO Marketing.com annual event. This year is going to be virtual. Last year, because of COVID, we did it virtually. Before, in the past, we would do it in Atlanta. But you know what? We had more success for people just to be able to sit down at their computer at their home. And we do it Saturday. It'll be this year in 2022. It'll be Saturday, February 26th. But you can learn all about it at Next Level PCO. That's Pest Control Operator. Next Level PCO Marketing.com. And just check out these websites. Or you can also go to any of our websites, and there's links to all of these opportunities to work with us. Now,
and it does. Let me throw something else out, Mike. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but this is not just for pest control operators and wildlife control operators. We've had people that come to this who are chiropractors, health food people, energy healer. I have an attorney who's a client. If you own a small business of any kind, then this applies to you. It
Absolutely.
Really does. It really does.
Hal told me PCO stands for Pest Control Operator. I also think it's persistent, consistent, and outrageous marketing.
I like that.
So at any rate, check all these websites out. They're linked from the podcast, pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com. And I got to tell you this. Hal wants an opportunity to talk to you for an hour. You can call Hal at 770-993-0004. Listen to our jingle. 770-993-0004 or Hal Coleman. Set up a 1 hour consult with him. It's absolutely free. I mean, people have done that with Hal and said, my gosh, that was worth thousands of dollars and you gave it to me free. And you go, well, why would you do this for free? How are you going to get to know if somebody is a good fit unless you spend a little time together?
Well, what they do over, I use what I call the mall food court strategy. If you're walking through the mall and you pass by the food court somewhere around lunchtime, they're out there offering you free food. Here's a piece of Cajun chicken. Here's whatever. This is free, but they're hoping that you will eat it and like it so much that you go over to their window and you buy a plate. And that's exactly what a lot of business, what we do. Don't take my word for it. Let me prove to you. Give me an hour. Let me prove to you what I can do for you. At the end of that hour, if you say, well, thank you, but I don't want any more, that's fine. But a certain percentage of people say, wow, I need you. I need your help.
If
I
you've
want
never
my business to grow.
If you've never taken Hal up on this 1 hour, call him at 770-993-0004. Go to pestcontrolmarketer.com. You can learn more about it. And I do the same thing. Hal's Mr. Offline, but I'm Mr. Online. I have 1,000 little things that you need to pay attention to with your website. And you can call me at 770-826-3662. That's 770-826-3662. But at any rate, we love teaching everybody 1,000 little things that make a difference. What is the value of one more new customer? We were working with one of our customers this morning, Hal, and his problem is he went from working a part-time job with 1 truck to 7 trucks, 7 employees, and now time management is we're generating the business.
That was Michael, I'll bet.
Hey, it was Michael, yeah.
And he told me the other day, he said, I started with you guys. I was a full-time fireman. And he said, I had a little part-time pest control route. And I said, can you help me? I want to grow my little route and be able to quit the fire department and be in pest control full-time. I said, we talked, we went through the hour. And so that's during that hour, we determined, yes, if I can't help you, I'm going to tell you I can't help you with something. But during that hour, I saw what he was doing and what he was not doing. And so he just told me the other day, he said, so here we are 36 months later. I just bought my 7th truck.
Yep.
36 months from being a fireman with a part-time rep. And I'll tell you another success story you may not have heard because it's a rather new one. Ben down in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Yeah.
Ben's Pest Control. Just signed up for his 2nd year with me. He's about a third of the way through his 2nd year. And I didn't bring this up. He just said, well, I said, you want to sign up for the 2nd year? And he said, well, I got to tell you, you asked me what my goal was in the beginning. And he said, I told you that my goal was to sell 5 new pest control accounts a week, that would make me happy, 5 a week. And he said, last month, I sold 75. And he said, do you think I want to sign up for another year? I said, you probably do. He said, you dang right I do. So, and I just had a client ask me week before last, he'd been in the program for 3 months. He said, Hal, I've been dreading asking you this, but is there a way I can drop out of this program? I just need to drop out. And I said, well, yeah, there always is. Tell me what's going on. He said, well, to be honest, I haven't done anything that you've told me to do. Nothing. He said, I haven't memorized the first script. I haven't done anything. I said, I know you haven't. we've been talking about it, but he said, I've got employee issues. He has a family member that's in the business that's going to have to get rid of in an unpleasant situation. He said, I got so much stuff going on. He said, I just can't do any of the stuff you want me to do. I said, well, if you can't, you don't need to be in the program. So I said, when we hang up from this call, I'm going to push a button and your program will be canceled. And if I can ever help you in any way, I'm here. All you got to do is call me. Thank you. And we parted ways. But if you're not going to do the stuff, there's no point even getting into the program. Ben, Michael, all the successful ones, Fred Talley, they'll all tell you, if you do what Hal and Mike tell you to do, your business is going to go through the roof. If you don't do what they tell you to do, nothing's going to happen.
Yep.
If you do half of what they tell you to do, you'll get growth, but it won't be like, so you got to do the stuff. If you want to build your body up, you want to lose 50 pounds and put on 10 pounds of pure lean muscle over the next 12 months, it's an everyday process.
Yeah.
You can't exercise 3 days a week and eat chocolate cream pies the other 2 days a week and expect to lose 50 pounds and put on 20 pounds of muscle. You've got to be it's daily. It's all those little things. It's drinking the right amount of water, taking the right kind of supplements. It's getting the right amount of sleep. It's getting on a regular schedule. It's eating the right amount of proteins and the right kind of carbs and the wrong ones. And it's doing these certain exercises and doing the exercises correctly, not doing them incorrectly. In some cases, you hurt yourself when you exercise if you don't. So it's 1,000 little things if you want to grow your body and transform your body. And it's the same way with your business. If you want to transform your business, you've got to find a program that works and you've got to stick to it. It's minute by minute, day by day, week by week, month by month, and you stick to it and you do what your coach tells you to do when they're standing over you, showing you exactly what to do, and you do it, and you're going to see your body transform. You will see your business transform the same way, but you can't play around with growing your business any more than you can play around with getting healthy. You're either going to do it or you're not. And we're looking to talk with the people who are ready to grow. They're ready to say, I want to be putting on new trucks. And I want people to be calling me saying, how'd you find out about me? And coming from all the different places. That's what we're looking for. People who are ready to roll up their sleeves and make that transformation and turn that business into a business that almost runs itself and is growing. And it's just like a bank account growing every month and someday leading to that retirement. And I had a guy tell me that, well, I don't plan to ever retire. And I'm just going, someday my kids will take it over maybe, but I'm not ever going to retire. I said, well, someday you're going to retire whether you want to or not. Someday your health is going to fail or your mind is going to fail or you're going to get tired of this. You're going to wake up one day, I don't want to do this anymore, or I can't do this anymore. And what do? Well, I guess my kids have decided they don't want to take it over. I thought they were, but they don't want the business. So what are you going to do with it? Well, I guess I'll make a phone call and sell my business. So you've been in it for 25 years. You sell it and get that $175,000 that your business is worth after 25 years. Or do you want to call it and get that $3.5 million that your company is worth now? What amount do you want somebody to write you a check for when the day comes that you have to retire, whether you want to or not? You just wake up one day, you can't do it anymore, or you're tired, or something comes along. How much money do you want to walk away with when that day comes? And I pose that question to people, and they're like, yeah, You can't hide from the fact that you're going to have to get out of the business one day. That day is inevitable. You're going to have to get out of the business someday. And if your kids take it over, one of your offspring takes it over, do you want them to take over a business that's worth a fortune? Or do you want them to take over some little route that's going to drive them into the ground the way it drove you into the ground? What are you going to hand them over for their legacy in that business? The day's going to come when you're going to get out of the business, whether you want to or not.
Well, it all makes sense. Well, things to think about. Take us up on our offers. And I think from looking at the clock here, it's time to call it a day.
I feel better, Mike. I feel like it. I just feel so good. I think I'll just take my hat off and let my head cool off a little bit, man. I feel good now. I feel like I'm contained.
Oh, that's great to hear. Well, check us out next time on the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Thanks. I'm Mike Stewart, and on behalf of Hal Coleman, have a great day. Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet Audio and Video Guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Google Pest Control Marketer. Grow your business like never.